But I swear, everything I can think of when it comes to creating tension, unease, musical unease, is happening all at the same time on top of each other here. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Low End University. By now, I feel like I've learned which bands have spearheaded the 90s skate punk movement, if you will. I've learned what bands spearheaded the third wave of ska. But I don't really know much about anything with a hardcore label attached to it. Post-hardcore, all these terms I'm reading, or who the forerunner bands were on this side of things, aside maybe like Fugazi. But I frequently see the band name DRIVE Like Jehu lately, and I'm hearing them for the first time today with their song Come the Rome Plows, which was on their second and final studio album titled Yank Crime, released in 1994. And I'm reading here that their music was characterized by passionate singing, unusual song structures, indirect melodic themes, intricate guitar playing, and calculated use of tension. Ooh. Resulting in a distinctive sound amongst other post-hardcore acts. And their placement in the book 1001 Albums You Must Hear Before You Die called this album, quote-unquote, a fearsomely abrasive and inventive fringe rock artifact that still sets the blood rushing to this day. In other words, enter at your own risk. Let's see what it sounds like. Without further ado, here is Come the Rome Plows from DRIVE Like Jehu. Whoa. Wow. It sounds like 3 songs playing at once. It's like a cacophony of all the things I talk about in all of these other videos. Tritones, you know, the noisy, scratchy unpleasantries you hear with bands like Fugazi, which is an element, again, I have to learn to appreciate more. I'm warming up to all this. This is why I wanted to venture into this side of things. But I swear, everything I can think of when it comes to creating tension, unease, musical unease, is happening all at the same time on top of each other here. And if you strip all of that away, it's still going between notes that would evoke tension. It's kind of in this B Locrian. Locrian is just a mode of a major scale. It's like starting on the 7th note and ending on the 7th note. And there's really not even a point to get into that here. The point is it has a half step kind of ground under it. It has this. So if I were to go up the rest of the scale, that's all white keys on the piano. I'm just starting and ending on a different note. It makes it sound more tense. I hear some chromaticism. All the usual things I look for in a song to talk about in these videos might be out the window for this one, but I'm going to give it my best shot. Let me start this one over. Nice, overdriven bass intro. Gives me a little context starting out. Let's do it again. Okay. Right, I think that's a tritone right out of the gate. But anchoring everything around B, one more time. Yeah. Okay. Tell you what, I'm having the hardest time getting my 2 boys up for school in the mornings. We're a month into the school year. You know, it takes a while. I'm going to make this their alarm clock. This song, at least the intro. That's what I'm doing. Okay, I hear him shouting Rome Plows, but I'm trying to dig through all of the density and just find the core of that riff. It's almost like they want to obscure the cleaner harmonic content. Like, that doesn't need to be the focus. They don't want that to be your focus. But I feel like the riff under there is a derivative of that bass intro, like a... something happening there. Again, it might not even be purposeful to find that, but it almost has this stoner rock kind of inflection. The way the note's being bent, I almost hear this kind of like... just those sort of slow, sludgy articulations to the note. So it makes me think, are these guys pulling from that side of things? Which I think the very first stoner rock band I've done on the channel coming up. Sleep, Ohm, they're on the list. If I'm thinking of the right genre with the right band. But I like bands like Intronaut, you know, the more progressive side of those types of bands that have some of those inflections. So again, this is all about untangling the musical web and making a clear picture for me. We have an almost 6-minute song, so I'm going to let it play for a bit. Just some first impressions. Echoing back to the bass intro there. Cool. They threw me a little musical life raft, calling back to that bass intro. Yeah, this noise, again, it'd be the left channel if you're looking at me here. Almost sounds like one of those like washboard percussive instruments put through a fuzz pedal. Interesting textures. I mean, this takes the cake for the noisiest, most uncomfortable song I've heard, with sounds that still feel very organic to just guitar, bass, drums. Again, this is something I'd really like to warm up to. I'm really appreciating it just outside of a surface level judgment of how it sounds. It sounds tense. It sounds uncomfortable. I'm learning more about the why these bands went that route. And that's what's really cool to me. It's a very expressive, you know, when you can't say what you want to say with just 12 notes, you resort to other sounds and textures. And I just really like that exploration. Still very musical to me, just a different kind of way. Yeah, that scratchy thing, it's like that's louder than even the main riff, happening almost, sounds like it's way in the distance. These are intentional choices. You know, you don't just end up with a mix like this. See, the riff's like way over there. It's so pissed off sounding. Believe it or not, I think that's an actual major chord. Think just for a second. It really is. Or it's implied major. Just changing to a different chord is so impactful because all they've given me is the... And one thing I was going to say too, I thought this was an interesting layering. It sounds like the guitars are really droning on that BC. However they're articulating it, bending it, whatever. But then I feel like the bass is even back further, tucked away, still doing its intro part. So just a lot clashing there. Yeah, E flat major. it's kind of a lot more melodic. It's almost like the clouds, the stormy clouds are clearing, and I'm seeing a little sunlight come through. Just if we're talking about what's tucked away underneath all of the unease, all the layering. I like this really rich chord. It sounds like a 9 chord. Then it goes back to the B. And what's so interesting is when it lands on that chord after this 9 chord, it sounds like a G9 tucked way back in there, which is a thick sounding, kind of pretty chord. When they go to the second chord after it, it's throwing my mind for a loop. I hear beauty, I hear absolute cacophony just all in the same sentence. It's like, depending on what you focus on, if you close your eyes and just listen to all the things happening, there's a variety, like a mixed bag of textures that are kind of bright, kind of dark, kind of uncomfortable. It's just like all smeared together. It's like if I took all the colors of paint and just smear them together. I mean, you get what? Gray, black, but little bits of red are like sprinkled over here. So it's like, that's what I hear. That's what I see in my mind. As somebody who has synesthesia with sound and perfect pitch and all this stuff, like I associate notes with colors. So it's like this type of mix and presentation is just really throwing me for a loop. It's just very indiscernible in a way for me. Cool. I mean, it's a challenge to dissect in this way. See that this comes together, and then this next chord, it's like, what do you hear there? I'm going to go back because I want to hear it again. Okay, right here. That chord, I hear a mix of so many different things. Wow. Whoa. I like how that tritone interval jump happening often. It's lining right up with the snare part. Another interesting thing, you honestly expect loud drums to probably be a part of a song's tense impact, right? The drums are actually kind of quiet too. It's like everything that you would think of with a standard rock song, guitars, riffs, bass, drums. It's like those are the quietest things. It's all these other, it's almost like the mix is backwards from what you would expect. There's something uneasy about that too. I find all of this so interesting, so bold, and I'm trying to find things I like about it. There's some things I really do. I just got to kind of warm up to this side of things. You have to hear it and kind of go, what were they going for? Getting inside these musicians' heads, like what's the end game with this type of songwriting? That's the cool stuff to me. Rome Plows. That E flat. So it does this. And the bass is down here doing some sort of walking chromatic thing, it sounds like. Something like that. It's just very hard to discern the nuance of some of these things. I feel like I could just play whatever. Honestly, it would sound just fine. Nice major chord tucked in there. I think that happened earlier and I just didn't want to believe it was major. It really is. It's interesting just how they're using that paintbrush. It doesn't just translate like your normal major chord. It has a completely different context in this song. I like this section. Bass is, okay, we're at the end here. It felt like it was wrapping up. Bass is doing, I almost feel like I hear a pop, slap, punchy gnarliness from the tone. Right here, what's going on here? Almost sounds like a... just, I don't know, something like that. I'm sweating. I definitely burned quite a lot of calories just listening to that song. And I mean, I thought I knew what I was getting into a little bit. I didn't know it was going to be literally that just uncomfortable musically. And if we're just talking about surface level music things, not a lot to talk about. I don't think that's their goal. I'm really interested in what their approach is for songwriting. Like, what's the conversation like in the room coming up with songs like this? This is a new territory for me. I feel like bands like Fugazi and maybe some of the Rage Against the Machine stuff. And, you know, I was just talking about all this in the Beastie Boys video last week. They had little elements and glimpses of this, but this was like hot water on, full bore, full blast. I think when you peel away some of those layers almost seem like a bit of misdirection to divert your attention away from the core sound of the band. I don't know if I could listen to a full album yet, but I'd like to warm up more to this, especially if there's some cool bass lines involved, because I found the bass line to be providing a lot more texture than really anything. I heard things happening, I just couldn't quite tell what they were. But it added to the chaos and just kept fanning the flames, if you will. But thank you guys for hanging out with me today. Finally got a really noisy band here on the channel. It won't be the last one, but let me know in the comments where I should go next on this side of things. And if you'd like to support this channel further, please come find us over on Patreon, patreon.com/LoneUniversity. I have bass lessons there, music theory lessons there. We review full albums every single month, just like this. And we have a great community of swell people. Come hang out with us. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed. I love you all. We'll see you in the next one.